A Hollywood legend worth hundreds of millions stood in line at 2 in the morning. Long dark hair past his shoulders, disheveled. 3-day stubble, faded blue jeans, blacked shirt, worn brown leather jacket. Nobody recognized Keanu Reeves. Not the exhausted usher struggling with a broken popcorn machine. Not the security camera with its dead red light. Not even the night manager counting cash in the office. He had come to his flagship, Los Angeles, cinema unannounced. But nothing could have prepared him for what he saw next. The usher's left arm hung in a makeshift sling, torn fabric from a Reeves Cinema promotional shirt. Every movement brought a wince she could not quite hide. Her name tag read Sarah Mitchell. And in 47 minutes, Keanu would discover a conspiracy so dark, so cruel, that it would force him to become someone else entirely. This is real. This starts now. Keanu Reeves had not visited his flagship Los Angeles cinema in 4 months. Now, walking through the lobby after his unsettling encounter with Sarah, he saw his mentor's legacy through different eyes. The best workplace in entertainment. Award hung crooked near the entrance, its golden frame catching the harsh fluorescent glare. Below it, a mission statement etched in brass. Reeves Cinema, where every story matters. The main floor told a different story entirely. Cracked carpet held together with silver duct tape created trip hazards every few feet. He counted 4 emergency exits. 3 blocked by equipment cases, 1 with a broken push bar. The smell grew stronger near the concession stand. Definitely spoiled butter. Probably hidden behind newer stock. Keanu pulled out his phone, pretending to check messages while photographing everything. He had built this empire from his mentor's single neighborhood theater, a man named Robert Chen who had taken in a troubled young actor decades ago, who had believed in him when Hollywood saw only a pretty face without substance, who had died when faulty rigging collapsed during a charity screening. Take care of your people, Robert used to say. They will take care of the magic. 35 cinemas later, Reeves Cinema employed over 4,000 people. But anonymous reports had been surfacing. Complaints about this location specifically, Keanu had dismissed them. After all, regional manager Derek Walsh's reports showed perfect safety scores, minimal turnover, strong productivity, excellent customer satisfaction. The employee break room made Keanu's stomach turn. 1 plastic chair for a staff of 93. A refrigerator with an out of order sign dated 3 months ago. The time clock showed impossible patterns. Employees clocking out at midnight, back in at 5 in the morning. Some shifts ran 16 hours straight. The schedule board was a mess of corrections in different colored pens, arrows pointing to switched shifts, names crossed out and rewritten. Near the projection booth, Keanu found what he had dreaded, an unofficial injury log hidden behind the official one. Dates, names, incidents, none matching Derek's reports. Sarah Mitchell's name appeared 4 times in 3 months. Cut hand on broken equipment. Back strain from lifting film canisters. Shoulder injury. Fell carrying boxes up broken stairs. The latest entry was blank except for today's date. You lost, sir. A janitor appeared in the doorway. Mop bucket squeaking on 1 broken wheel. His name tag read Jimmy Rodriguez. And his eyes held the wariness of someone who had seen too much. Just looking for the bathroom? Keanu lied. Jimmy studied him for a long moment. Something flickered in his gaze. Recognition, perhaps. Or maybe just suspicion. Corporate types usually visit during the day. When things looked prettier, he pushed his bucket past, muttering, "Bathrooms that way. Watch the wet floor." "We cannot afford the signs." Keanu's phone buzzed. Another anonymous complaint, this time with a photo. An employee working with her arm in a sling. The message read, "Sarah cannot afford to miss work. None of us can. Please help. Mr. Reeves, if you are reading this, we are dying in here." Saturday evening rush hit Reeves Cinema like a tidal wave. Every ticket counter had lines 8 deep, families clutching buckets of popcorn, couples rushing toward showings. The premiere of a major blockbuster had drawn crowds not seen in years. Sarah Mitchell worked concession stand 3. Her makeshift sling already soaked with sweat from the effort of scooping popcorn and pouring drinks one-handed. The security camera above her station dangled uselessly. An out of order sign taped across its lens. Sarah, need you to help unload the delivery truck. Derek Walsh's voice cut through the register beeps and customer chatter. The regional manager stood near the office, designer shoes gleaming against the stained carpet. Rolex catching the lobby lights. Team effort today. I am on concession, Sarah replied, gesturing at her growing line. And my arm. Everyone pitches in. That is the Reeves cinema way. Derek's smile was sharp as broken glass. Unless you need to go home. Permanently. Keanu watched from the merchandise line. Baseball cap pulled low. Worn brown leather jacket collar raised. He had returned to observe the Saturday rush after yesterday's discoveries. What he witnessed next would haunt him forever. Sarah abandoned her register, mumbling apologies to frustrated customers. In the storage room, she struggled with a 60-pound box of supplies, trying to balance it against her hip while her injured arm screamed in protest. The grinding sound when she lifted, bone against bone, made nearby employees flinch. Jimmy the janitor reached to help, but Derek waved him off. She has got it. Strong girl. Right, Sarah? The box slipped. Sarah's scream pierced the evening bustle as she crumpled to the floor, clutching her shoulder. Supplies scattered across the concrete like shrapnel from an explosion. Customers rushed to look. Employees froze, torn between helping and keeping their jobs. Derek stepped over the spreading mess, pulled out his phone, started recording. Employee accident, 7:43 p.m. Sarah Mitchell dropped merchandise, approximately $300 in damages. He turned to the gathering crowd. Show is over, folks. We will get this cleaned up. Someone call maintenance. Call an ambulance. A customer shouted. She is hurt? She is fine. Derek pocketed his phone and grabbed the cash drawer from Sarah's abandoned register, counting bills while she writhed on the floor. Just being dramatic. Back to your stations, everyone. Jimmy, get this mess cleaned up. That is when Sarah did something that changed everything. Despite the agony painted across her face, she pushed herself up with her good arm. Her voice, though shaky with pain, rang clear across the lobby. No, I am filing a report. This happened at work. Lifting your boxes. Because the hand truck has been broken for months. I am not leaving until someone documents this properly. She pulled out her phone with trembling fingers. Started recording. March 15th, 7:44 p.m. I am Sarah Mitchell, employee number 4471. I just re-injured my shoulder lifting supply boxes under direct orders from regional manager Derek Walsh. Despite informing him of my existing injury, Derek's face went from red to purple. You are in violation of company policy. No recording on premises. What about customer safety? An elderly woman stepped forward, her own phone raised. I am recording too. This young lady needs medical attention, not threats. More phones appeared. Customers and employees recording Derek as he stood over Sarah, cash drawer still in his hands. The contrast was damning, counting money while an injured employee lay among scattered supplies. Everyone recording will be banned from this cinema, Derek announced. Employees participating will be terminated immediately. Try it. Jimmy dropped his mop, crossed his arms. Fire all of us. See how you run this place alone. Other employees nodded, stepping closer to Sarah, forming a protective circle around her. Keanu had seen enough. He slipped out during the chaos, hands shaking with rage. In his car, he made 2 calls, first to his lawyer, then to his head of operations. Clear my schedule for the next 3 weeks. I am going undercover. Keanu Reeves sat in his Hollywood Hills home at midnight. Transformation materials spread across his kitchen table. 9 years of life had not prepared him for this. The janitor uniform from Goodwill smelled like industrial bleach and someone else's sweat. A name tag maker hummed beside him. Printing, Mike, in standard Reeves cinema font. You are certain about this? Patricia Williams, his chief legal officer, studied the surveillance photos from his phone. We could handle this officially. Full investigation. Immediate suspensions. They will cover it up. Keanu tested the weight of a mop handle, remembering Robert's calloused hands. The way his mentor had swept the original theater himself every morning until the day he died. Derek has been sending perfect reports for 3 years. Either corporate oversight failed, or someone is helping him hide things. I need to know how deep this goes. He had already traced the rot's outline. Sarah's workers' compensation claim. Denied. Listed reason. Injury occurred outside work parameters. 4 other claims similarly rejected. All signed by Derek Walsh. All rubber stamped by someone in corporate HR. The anonymous complaints never reached Keanu's desk. Filtered out at regional level. The system he had built to protect workers had become their prison. Patricia helped him practice his cover story. Mike Johnson. 61 years old. Recently divorced. Needed work to pay medical bills. References from a defunct cleaning company. She would make them check out if anyone called. Social security number that would pass basic verification, but trigger a flag in her office if anyone dug deeper. 3 weeks maximum, she warned. Then we pull you out. Keanu studied videos of janitors on YouTube, learning the efficient movements, the proper way to wring a mop. He practiced slouching, keeping his eyes down, making himself invisible. Amazing how different a person looked when they changed their posture. Their purpose. The designer watches went into the safe. His manicured nails got clipped short. Dirt rubbed beneath them. The hardest part was the transformation itself. He kept his long, dark hair past his shoulders, but let it grow more disheveled. 3-day stubble became his permanent look. Faded blue jeans. Black t-shirt. Worn brown leather jacket. Worn brown boots that made his feet ache. But Robert had worn boots like these. Had limped home every night until the day he did not come home at all. Keanu laced them tight. Reeves Cinema ran 3 shifts. Day shift was too visible. Too many customers who might recognize him despite the changes. Night shift was skeleton crew. Perfect for staying under radar. He had applied online using Patricia's secured laptop. The hiring manager had not even called. Just sent an email. Start Tuesday, 10 p.m. Bring your own gloves. Monday night, Keanu drove past the cinema in an old pickup truck bought specifically for this purpose. Derek's Lexus sat in the prime parking spot despite the cinema being closed. Lights burned in the upper office. Through the window, Keanu could see figures moving. Boxes being loaded into a van, off-the-books activity. He made a note. His phone buzzed. Sarah Mitchell had posted in a private Facebook group for Reeves Cinema employees. 3rd surgery scheduled. Cannot afford it. If you are reading this, Mr. Reeves, know that we believed in Robert Chen's vision. Some of us still do. Keanu turned off the phone. Tomorrow, Mike the janitor would begin his first shift. He would clean their floors, empty their trash, listen to their stories. He would find out exactly how Derek Walsh had turned his mentor's dream into a nightmare. And then he would fix it. Not with memos or meetings, but with the kind of justice Robert would have understood. Patricia had asked him why he did not just fire Derek immediately. The answer was simple. Cutting off the head would not kill the body. He needed to see the whole infection. Understand how it spread. Before he could cure it, his employees deserved more than a bandage. They deserved complete healing. Tuesday arrived dark and early. Keanu, now Mike, punched in at 9:50, 8 p.m. 2 minutes early. Jimmy nodded at him from across the break room. New guy. Hope you last longer than the last 4. Planning on it, Mike replied, picking up his mop bucket. The broken wheels squeaked like a warning. Or maybe a welcome. Mike's first night started with Jimmy's warning. Do not clean too good. Makes the day shift look bad. The veteran janitor showed him the ropes. Literally. Pointing out which areas had actual cleaning supplies and which got the water treatment. The industrial clock above them ticked past 10:30 p.m. Its face cracked down the middle. See those cameras? Jimmy gestured at the security system. Half are fake. Other half do not work. But that one. He pointed to a hidden camera near the office. That one is Derek's personal setup. Catches everything near the time clock. Mike noted the angle. Kept his head down as they passed. The employee area told its own story. Time cards showed corrections in red pen, always reducing hours, never adding. 8 employees had exactly 29.5 hours that week, just under the full time threshold. Benefits were for suckers, apparently. Check this out. Jimmy unlocked a maintenance closet, revealing boxes of expired first aid supplies. Derek orders the cheap stuff, lets it expire, writes it off, keeps the good supplies locked in his office, sells them online. The evidence was stacked floor to ceiling. Thousands of dollars in medical supplies employees could not access. Around midnight, the night shift cashier, Rosa Martinez, took her break. Mike mopped nearby as she massaged her wrists. Wrapped in dirty ACE bandages. Carpal tunnel? She explained without being asked. 5 years of ticket scanning. No ergonomic equipment. Derek says it is not work-related since I play guitar at church. You report it. Mike kept his voice neutral. Rosa laughed. Bitter as black coffee. To who HR? They are Derek's drinking buddies. Oh, she? Last guy who called them got his hours cut to nothing. Had to quit. She pulled out a notebook, showing pages of documented incidents. Photos of injuries. Dated and detailed. We'll keep our own records now. 31 of us. By 2 in the morning. Mike had seen enough to turn his stomach. The projection booth crew worked without safety equipment. Hauling film equipment that required 2 people by themselves. The storage freezer door would not stay closed. Employees had to prop it with a broken chair, risking getting locked inside. The chemical storage violated every OSHA rule he knew. Bleach stored next to ammonia. No ventilation. No warning signs. Why stay? Mike asked Tommy Garcia, a kid maybe 19, struggling with boxes marked, team lift, by himself. Mom's got cancer. Need the insurance. Tommy showed him a pay stub. Deductions he had never seen before. Uniform cleaning fee. They washed their own. Equipment rental. For using the hand truck. Training cost recovery. For a safety video from 1991. His take, home for 40 hours was $219. The revelation came at 4 in the morning. Jimmy trusted Mike enough now to show him the real secret. Behind the dumpster, hidden in a waterproof box, sat Derek's special files. Copies of emails, printed and saved. Bonus structures showing kickbacks for keeping labor costs down. Injury reports suppressed. Workers' comp claims denied. The smoking gun showed Derek getting $1,500 for every claim rejected. $750 for every full-time employee converted to part-time. He has got a partner upstairs. Jimmy explained quietly. Someone incorporate who makes the complaints disappear. Splits the bonuses. We figure they are clearing 6 figures a year just from hurting us. Mike photographed everything. Hands shaking with rage. One email thread discussed Sarah specifically. Problem employee. Too vocal about rights. Assign heavy lifting until she quits or gets hurt enough to fire for inability to perform duties. Dated 3 months ago. They had targeted her deliberately. Dawn broke gray and miserable. Mike's feet screamed in the cheap boots. His back ached from mopping, but the physical pain was nothing compared to the fury burning in his chest. He punched out at 6 in the morning, noting Derek's Lexus still in the parking lot. Through the office window, he saw the regional manager counting cash. Laughing on the phone, Jimmy walked out with him. You coming back tonight, Mike? Would not miss it, Keanu promised. In his truck, he forwarded the photos to Patricia, adding one instruction. Get me everything on Derek Walsh, financial records, property, connections in corporate, and find out who is protecting him. His phone buzzed. Sarah again. In the employee Facebook group. 4th surgery canceled. Insurance denied coverage. If anyone has spare pain medication, please message me. Mike would be back tonight. But Keanu Reeves was already planning the war. The second week went deeper. Mike arrived to find the night crew buzzing with nervous energy. Someone had reported the safety violations to OH. Anonymously. Derek's response was swift and vicious. Everyone's hours got cut. Overnight shift restructured to skeleton crew. Jimmy got demoted from lead janitor to basic maintenance. A $4 hourly pay cut. Collective punishment. Rosa whispered during break. Military tactic. Turn us against each other. But something had shifted. Instead of breaking them, Derek's retaliation unified them. Employees started sharing rides to save gas. Bringing extra lunches for those who could not afford food. Mike discovered Derek's secondary income stream on Wednesday. While cleaning the lobby entrance, he noticed boxes being loaded at 3 in the morning. Reeves' cinema inventory, but going into personal vehicles, premium snacks, expensive merchandise, top shelf liquor from the VIP lounge. Security footage would show nothing. Derek had positioned the loading just outside camera range. He sells it to collectors and bars, Tommy explained, helping Mike clean around the loading area. Cash only. Probably clears $3 grand a week. Inventory system shows it as shrinkage. Normal loss. Corporate never questions it if the percentages stay reasonable. The young man limped as he worked, favoring his left foot. Dropped a equipment case on it last week. Derek said if I filed a report, he would drug test me. I smoked weed a month ago at a concert. Cannot risk it. The foot was swollen. Probably broken. Wrapped in duct tape inside his shoe. Thursday night brought the worst discovery. Mike was cleaning the women's restroom when he found Maria Santos, one of the concession workers, sobbing in a stall. She was 7 months pregnant. Bleeding lightly. Cannot leave, she gasped between contractions. Need 4 more hours for overtime. Rent is due. Mike forgot his cover entirely. We are going to the hospital. Now? Cannot afford it. I will pay. He helped her to his truck, called 911 en route. At the hospital, he gave them his real credit card. Covered everything. Maria's baby was fine, but she had been dangerously close to premature labor. Dehydration. Exhaustion. Untreated infection from not being allowed bathroom breaks. When he returned for Friday's shift, word had spread. Mike was different. He had helped Maria without asking anything in return. Trust shifted. The real stories poured out. Derek's harassment. Carefully verbal. Never witnessed. Always deniable. The time he made a diabetic employee work through insulin shock. The pregnant woman fired for performance issues after announcing her pregnancy. Wu tried organizing once, said Samuel Richardson, an older man working projection despite arthritis. Derek found out. Organizers got deported. Funny how ICE suddenly got anonymous tips about documentation issues. Rest of us got the message. Mike found more evidence in Derek's trash. Performance reviews rewritten to justify firings. Injury reports with originals destroyed and replaced with versions blaming employees. Time cards photographed before and after Derek's adjustments. The man kept trophies of his cruelty. Saturday night. Mike's last scheduled shift of week 2. He had gathered enough evidence to bury Derek. But something still nagged. Who in corporate was protecting him? The answer came from an unexpected source. You are not really a janitor. Rosa cornered him during break. Eyes sharp. The way you walk. The way you look at things. You are investigating. Mike considered denying it, then saw the desperation in her eyes. Would it matter if I was? Depends why. She pulled out her phone, showed him a contact. My cousin works at corporate. Says there is an executive who brags about his arrangement with regional managers. Vice President of Human Resources. Nathan Hartley. The final piece. Keanu knew Nathan. Hired him 6 years ago. Trusted him with employee welfare. The betrayal cut deep. Nathan had access to every complaint, every report. He had built the very system meant to protect workers into their prison. Sunday morning, Mike punched out for the last time that week. In the parking lot, Jimmy waited by his truck. Whoever you really are, the old janitor said quietly. I hope you are here to help. We are dying in there. Literally? Mike looked him in the eye. Changes are coming. Soon. Keep your people safe a little longer. People are breaking. Jimmy replied, voice cracking. Sarah is talking about suicide. Cannot work. Cannot pay for surgery. Cannot see a future. Whatever you are planning, do it fast. Keanu drove home in silence, the weight of responsibility crushing his chest. Tomorrow he would return for one final week. But tonight, he had calls to make. Legal team, board members, media contacts. The war was about to begin. Mike's final week underground started with Patricia's text. Nathan Hartley just bought a beach house. Cash, $950,000. The VP of Human Resources' salary was $220,000. The math did not require a forensic accountant. Monday night, Mike arrived to find Derek's office door ajar. The regional manager gone for a leadership conference in Vegas. Jimmy noticed him looking. He will be back Thursday. Always leaves his computer logged in. Trusts his security camera. The one Derek did not know about. Mike had looped the feed Saturday night. 3 minutes of empty hallway playing endlessly. At 2 in the morning, Mike slipped into the office. Derek's desktop was a goldmine of criminal evidence. Folders labeled arrangements, bonus structure, problem employees. He inserted a USB drive, copying everything while photographing the screen for authentication. The arrangements folder revealed the conspiracy's scope. Emails between Derek and Nathan Hartley dating back 4 years. Quarterly split confirmed. 53,000 your share for Q4. Labor savings and claim denials. Usual offshore account. A Nathan's email included a spreadsheet. 21 regional managers participating. Estimated employee theft, $4.1 million annually. Workers' comp fraud, $2.3 million. The savings came from unpaid overtime, denied benefits, stolen wages. Another folder contained Derek's innovation. Selling employee medical information to insurance companies. Workers who filed claims got flagged as high risk. Their data sold to ensure they would never get affordable coverage elsewhere. Sarah Mitchell's file showed $500 received for her information after the first injury. Jesus Christ, Mike whispered. Finding video files. Derek had recorded employee terminations, keeping a greatest hits compilation. Workers crying, begging for their jobs, offering to work injured rather than lose insurance. He had edited them together like a highlight reel, complete with music. The masterpiece waited in an encrypted folder labeled Insurance. Mike almost vomited reading it. Derek and Nathan had created fake employees, enrolled them in company insurance, then collected the employer contributions. Phantom workers who existed only on paper. Bleeding Reeves cinema of hundreds of thousands annually. The account records showed the money flowing to shell companies, then to offshore accounts. Mike copied everything, uploaded backups to 3 secure cloud servers Patricia controlled. But he needed one more thing. Proof of Nathan's involvement that would stand up in court. Derek's emails were damning but could be challenged. He needed Nathan's direct confession. Wednesday night brought opportunity. Rosa burst into the break room at 1 in the morning. Phone in hand. Sarah is in the hospital. Attempted overdose. She live-streamed a goodbye message. The video showed Sarah in her apartment. Empty pill bottles beside her. I cannot live with this pain anymore. Cannot work. Cannot pay for surgery. Cannot see hope. Reeves cinema killed me. Just took 4 years to finish the job. If Mr. Reeves is watching this, I hope he knows what his company has become. Mike's hands shook as he called 911 from his personal phone, giving them Sarah's address from her employee file. Then he did something reckless. He called Nathan Hartley directly, using Derek's office phone. Derek? Nathan's voice was thick with sleep and alcohol. It is 2 in the morning. We have a problem. Mike growled, imitating Derek's tone. That Mitchell girl tried to kill herself. Live-streamed it. Mentioned the company. Nathan was fully awake now. How many saw it? Enough. What is our play? Same as always. She is a disgruntled employee with mental health issues. We will leak her disciplinary file. Make her look unstable. I will have PR ready a statement. Did she mention the injury claim specifically? Yeah, all of it. Nathan sighed. Maybe this is good timing. Dead employees cannot sue. We deny everything. Paint her as troubled. I will ensure her medical records show a history of depression. Dr. Patterson owes me. He will backdate some prescriptions. What about the other employees? Scare them. Anyone who shares that video gets terminated for violating social media policy. Anyone who talks to media gets sued for defamation. Remind them we know where their families work, where their kids go to school. The usual. A mic recorded every word, and our arrangement stays solid. This actually helps us. Tragedy deflects from investigation. We will use her suicide to push mental health initiatives. Look caring while cutting psych coverage from the insurance plan. I have got Senator Morrison's committee in my pocket. Any federal investigation dies there. The beach house. Nathan laughed. Just the beginning. 5 more years of this. We will both retire to the Caymans. These idiots think corporate cares about them. Reeves himself would have been proud. Turned his bleeding heart cinema chain into a real profit machine. Mike's finger hovered over the hang-up button. One more push. Sometimes I wonder if Keanu Reeves suspects anything. That trust fund celebrity. Nathan's contempt dripped through the phone. He is too busy playing actor to notice we are robbing him blind. Sits in his mansion reading his mentor's old letters while we harvest his employees like cattle. By the time he figures it out, we will be gone, and Reeves' cinema will be too broken to recover. Might even short the stock before we leave. Make a killing on the collapse. Mike ended the call, saved the recording to multiple drives. He had everything. Conspiracy, fraud, attempted murder through deliberate indifference. RISO violations, insider trading plans. Enough to put them both away for decades. His phone buzzed. Patricia, Sarah is stable. Doctors pumped her stomach in time. She is asking for you. The real you. Dawn approached as Mike walked out of Derek's office. Evidence secured. In the parking lot, employees gathered around phones, watching Sarah's video, crying openly. Jimmy stood apart, staring at the sunrise. It is time, Mike told him quietly. Jimmy studied his face. You are him? The owner, Keanu Reeves. Mike nodded. Then God help them, Jimmy said. Because nothing else will? Thursday morning arrived like a storm. Derek Walsh strutted through Reeves' cinema entrance at 9 in the morning, fresh from Vegas. Designer sunglasses reflecting the lobby lights. He had missed 23 calls from Nathan Hartley. But the VP's panicked voicemails could wait. Derek had a cinema to terrorize. Emergency all-hands meeting. Keanu Reeves' voice echoed through the PA system. All employees to the main lobby. Now. Derek froze. That was not his store manager's voice. He rushed toward the crowd gathering near the concession stands, then stopped dead. Keanu Reeves stood at the center, still wearing Mike the janitor's uniform. Faded blue jeans, black t-shirt, worn brown leather jacket, long dark hair past his shoulders, disheveled. 3-day stubble. But his posture had transformed. No more slouching. No more hiding. Some of you know me as Mike. Keanu began, his voice carrying across the silent lobby. I have mopped your floors, emptied your trash, listened to your stories. He paused. My real name is Keanu Reeves. I own this company. A gasp rippled through the crowd. Rosa dropped her pricing gun. Tommy's mouth fell open. Jimmy, standing near the back, allowed himself a small smile. Derek pushed forward, face purple with rage. This is inappropriate, Derek sputtered. Sir, if you wanted to visit, proper channels exist for. Shut up. Keanu's voice cut like a blade. I am not finished. He pulled out a laptop, connected it to the main display screen above the concession stands. The wall behind him lit up with evidence. For the past 3 weeks, I have documented systematic wage theft, safety violations, and conspiracy to defraud both employees and my company. The first slide showed time cards before and after Derek's adjustments. Every week, Derek Walsh steals an average of 7 hours from each full-time employee. That is $18,000 monthly in wages you have earned but never received. Employees stirred. Anger replacing shock. The next slide showed injury reports. Originals versus Derek's rewrites. 30. 4 workplace injuries in 7 months. Reported to corporate 0. Because Derek gets $1,500 bonus for each claim denied. Those are confidential. Derek started. Like Sarah Mitchell's medical information. Keanu clicked again. Sarah's file appeared, showing the $500 payment for selling her data. You sold injured employees information to insurance companies, ensuring they would never get coverage again. Sarah herself entered through the front door, wheelchair-bound, but determined, hospital bracelet still on her wrist. The crowd parted for her. He tried to kill me, she said quietly. Not with a weapon, but with policies designed to break us. I almost let him win. She looked directly at Derek. But I am still here. Keanu played the audio recording. Nathan Hartley's voice filled the cinema lobby, discussing Sarah's suicide attempt like a business opportunity. Planning to use her death for profit. Employees cried openly as they heard the contempt, the calculation, the cruelty. This is a legal recording. Derek pulled out his phone. I am calling my lawyer. So is this. Keanu showed the phantom employee scheme. You and Nathan created 57 fake employees, stealing $620,000 annually in insurance contributions. That is federal fraud. The police entered then. Quietly, professionally. Keanu had called them an hour ago, providing evidence of imminent document destruction. They positioned themselves around Derek, waiting. But here is the best part. Keanu continued, voice deadly calm. Your security camera in the office. I looped it. Everything you have done this week, thinking you were protected, I have it all, including you and Nathan loading stolen merchandise into personal vehicles. Derek's phone rang. Nathan Hartley. Keanu gestured for him to answer it, then activated speaker mode on his own phone. Connected to the PA system, Nathan's panicked voice boomed through the lobby. Derek, abort everything. Shred the documents. Wipe the computers. The FBI just raided my house. They have everything? We have everything, Nathan. Keanu's voice cut through. Offshore accounts. Shell companies. 4 years of conspiracy to commit fraud. Oh, and Senator Morrison? He flipped. Turns out he values his career more than your bribes. Silence. Then Nathan's voice. Smaller now. Broken. Keanu, the trust fund celebrity. The one who sits in his mansion reading his mentor's letters. Keanu confirmed. Too busy playing actor to notice you were destroying his legacy. Except I noticed. Every stolen hour. Every denied claim. Every broken life. Derek bolted for the exit. He made it 3 steps before Jimmy's mop handle caught his ankle. The regional manager sprawled across the stained carpet he had refused to replace. Expensive suit soaking up the same dirty water his employees had worked in for years. You are all fired. Derek screamed from the floor. Every one of you. No, Keanu said simply. You are. He nodded to the police. Officers, Derek Walsh is under arrest for embezzlement, fraud, and conspiracy. You will find evidence of document destruction in progress in his office. As the police hauled Derek away, Keanu turned to his employees. Hundreds of them now. Day shift had abandoned their posts to witness this moment. You have suffered because I trusted the wrong people. Failed to verify. Failed to protect you. That changes now. Sarah wheeled herself forward. Pretty words. We have heard them before. You are right. Keanu pulled out his phone. Dialed. Patricia, execute the transfers now. He looked back at the crowd. Every stolen hour from the past 4 years. Calculated and deposited to your accounts. With interest. Check your banking apps. Phones emerged. Gasps turned to cries as employees saw deposits. Thousands for some. Tens of thousands for others. Jimmy stared at his screen. Tears streaming. $57,000. That is just the beginning, Keanu promised. Full medical coverage for all injuries. Retroactive. Sarah, you will have the best surgeons in the country. Tommy, that foot gets treated today. Every safety violation fixed within 72 hours. What is the catch? Rosa asked. Suspicious even in victory. The catch is you help me fix this. Not just here. Every cinema. You have documented what is wrong. Now help me make it right. Keanu pulled off the janitor's jacket, revealing his black shirt underneath. The same outfit Robert Chen used to wear decades ago. My mentor built this company on one principle. Take care of your people. I forgot that. You reminded me. The crowd erupted, cheering, crying, embracing. 3 weeks as Mike the janitor had taught Keanu more than 6 years in the owner's suit. But this was just the first battle. The war for Reeves Cinema's soul was about to begin. The transformation began immediately. Within an hour of Derek's arrest, contractors swarmed Reeves Cinema like an occupying army of change. The broken time clock was ripped from the wall, replaced with a biometric system that could not be manipulated. Safety equipment arrived by the truckload. The blocked emergency exits were cleared, their alarms tested for the first time in years. Keanu called an emergency board meeting from the cinema floor. Laptop propped on a concession counter. Effective immediately. All regional managers are suspended pending investigation. Local employees will elect their own management councils. 50% of decisions regarding scheduling, safety, and operations now require employee approval. You cannot just. Board member Harrison started over video call. I own 54% of shares. Keanu cut him off. I can and I will. Any board member who objects can tender their resignation now. Sarah, still in her wheelchair but fire in her eyes, raised her hand. What about protection? Derek has friends. Nathan has connections. Keanu nodded to Patricia Williams, who had arrived with a team of lawyers. Federal whistleblower protection for everyone who testified. Any retaliation, we prosecute. Additionally, I am establishing a legal fund, $7 million, exclusively for employee protection and advocacy. The lawyers distributed documents. Jimmy squinted at the fine print. This says we get voting seats on the safety committee. Real votes, not advisory. 3 employee representatives for every 1 management representative. Patricia confirmed. And safety committee decisions override profit considerations. Written into corporate bylaws. Unchangeable without 75% employee approval. Tommy limped forward. Bootless foot finally in a proper medical boot. What about wages? We are still making minimum. Keanu pulled up a presentation. Minimum wage at Reeves Cinema becomes $19 hourly. Effective immediately. Full time guarantees at 30 hours for benefits. Overtime is voluntary, paid at double rate, and profit sharing. 12% of cinema profits distributed quarterly among floor employees. How can you afford? Someone called out, by cutting executive bonuses by 90%. Keanu replied, my own compensation drops from $9 million to $900,000. The difference funds employee programs. Any executive who disagrees can join Derek in the unemployment line. The crowd stirred as a familiar figure entered. Dr. Angela Martinez, Los Angeles' leading orthopedic surgeon. She walked straight to Sarah. Miss Mitchell, I am here to evaluate your shoulder. Reeves has arranged immediate surgery at Cedars Sinai. Full rehabilitation, all expenses covered, including lost wages. Sarah's tough facade cracked. Tears flowed as Dr. Martinez gently examined her shoulder. This should have been treated months ago. But we can fix it. You will have full mobility back. I cannot afford. Already paid. Keanu interrupted. Not charity. Compensation for our failure to protect you. While Sarah was whisked to the hospital, Keanu unveiled the next phase. Every Reeves Cinema gets an employee council. 5 members elected democratically. They control 25% of operational budget, have veto power over scheduling, and cannot be overruled on safety issues. You are giving us power. Rosa's suspicion had not faded entirely. I am returning power you always should have had. Keanu gestured to the broken equipment around them. You knew what needed fixing. Management ignored you. Never again. The first election happened right there. Employees nominated candidates, voted by secret ballot. Jimmy won unanimously as safety representative. Rosa became scheduling coordinator. 3 others filled out the council, their first official act. Firing the store manager who had enabled Derek. One need to discuss his replacement. An HR representative began. Already decided. Jimmy announced, "We want Maria, if she will take it." The concession worker who had almost lost her baby gasped. "You have got the respect, the knowledge, and you actually give a damn." Maria, still weak from her hospital ordeal, stood slowly. "I accept, but I will need help." "That is what councils are for," Keanu said. "Shared leadership. No more dictators." The changes rippled beyond the cinema. Keanu live-streamed the entire session on the company's social media pages. Employees from other locations flooded the comments demanding similar reforms. By noon, walkouts began at 14 cinemas where Derek's co-conspirators operated. Patricia's phone buzzed constantly. "The U.S. attorney wants to expand the investigation. This is bigger than Reeves' cinema." Derek and Nathan were teaching their methods to other chains. "We are looking at a national entertainment industry crime syndicate. Give them everything," Keanu ordered. "Full cooperation." As afternoon became evening, the cinema transformed. Employees worked with energy not seen in years, not from fear, but from ownership. They were fixing their workplace. The schedule board, once covered in frantic corrections, now showed fair rotations planned weeks in advance. Keanu gathered the council for one final announcement. "I am appointing a chief employee advocate, reporting directly to me. Salary equal to any executive. Someone who understands ground-level reality." He turned to Jimmy. "You interested?" The old janitor's mop clattered to the floor. "You are serious. Dead serious. You have been protecting these people for years without authority. Time you had some. I do not have a degree. You have something better. Experience and trust. Patricia will handle the corporate structure. You handle the human element." As Jimmy accepted, shaking Keanu's hand with work-worn fingers, the cinema erupted in celebration. But Keanu raised his hand for silence. "This is not victory. It is a beginning. We have 34 more cinemas to fix. Thousands of employees to make whole. Derek was a symptom. We are curing the disease." Sarah returned that evening, post-surgery, drugged but smiling. "Did I miss anything?" "Just a revolution." Rosa laughed, showing her the council badge. "You are looking at the new scheduling coordinator. First decision. You are on paid leave until fully recovered. Doctor's orders override everything." Keanu stood in the entrance, watching his employees rebuild their workplace. His mentor would have been proud. Take care of your people. Such simple words. Such powerful truth. His phone rang. Another regional manager panicking. "Mr. Reeves, I can explain. Save it for the FBI." Keanu replied, ending the call. Reeves' cinema was under new management, the employees' management, and business would never be the same. 3 months later, Reeves' cinema flagship hummed with different energy. Sarah Mitchell, fully recovered, adjusted the new ergonomic equipment at concession stand 3, the same station where Keanu had first seen her struggle. Her employee badge now read, "Safety Coordinator," and she wore it facing forward. Proud. "Remember when we had to hide our injuries?" she asked Tommy, who was training a new employee. His foot had healed perfectly, and he had just received acceptance to UCLA. Tuition paid by the Reeves Cinema Education Fund. "Remember when we had to share lunch because nobody could afford food?" Tommy laughed, gesturing to the break room. Through new windows, they could see employees enjoying their meals at actual tables, in comfortable chairs, with a fully stocked refrigerator humming contentedly. Jimmy, now Chief Employee Advocate James Rodriguez, walked the floor in a suit that fit his frame perfectly. He had insisted on keeping one janitor shift weekly to stay grounded. Young employees who once feared management now approached him freely with concerns, knowing they would be heard. "Mr. Rodriguez," a new hire asked nervously, "I need to adjust my schedule. My daughter's surgery got moved to Tuesdays." "Family first," Jimmy replied, making a note. "We will work around it." And it is just Jimmy. He had never gotten comfortable with the formal title, but he had transformed employee relations across all 35 cinemas. His first act had been establishing an emergency fund for workers facing crisis, funded by executive pay cuts. In the back office, Maria managed operations with quiet efficiency. 8 months pregnant again, this time with proper prenatal care and reasonable hours. She had turned the cinema's numbers around without sacrificing worker welfare. Ticket sales were up 21%, not from squeezing employees, but because happy workers created happy customers. Maria, Rosa called out. Phoenix location wants to know how you balance the schedule so well. They are still struggling. Tell them to ask their employees. Maria replied. They know what works. We just have to listen. The employee council met every Monday at 6 in the morning. Paid time, of course. Today's agenda included planning the cinema's first Employee Appreciation Day. Not corporate, mandated pizza parties, but a real celebration designed by workers for workers. I motion we invite Keanu, Sarah proposed. Not as owner, as Mike. Let him mop floors during the party. The council laughed, voting unanimously. Keanu had kept his promise, visiting each cinema monthly, always starting his visit with an hour of floor work, listening to employees without the barrier of his title. The transformation showed in small moments. Rosa's son visited after school, doing homework in the quiet break room while she finished her shift. Nobody worried about unauthorized visitors anymore. The cinema had become what Robert Chen had envisioned, an extended family. Look at this. Tommy showed Sarah his phone. A news article, Reeves Cinema named Best Workplace in Entertainment. For real this time. Employee satisfaction scores had jumped from 19% to 91%. Turnover dropped by 83%. Workers who once plotted escape now built careers. The afternoon shift change revealed another transformation. Employees clocked in exactly when scheduled, not 15 minutes early to look good. They trusted the system now, knowing their time was valued and would be paid fairly. A commotion near the lobby drew attention. An elderly customer had collapsed, heart problems. Before, employees would have panicked, called 911, and hoped. Now, Sarah grabbed the fully stocked first aid kit while Rosa, certified in CPR through company-paid training, stabilized the man. The new AED machine, one of Jimmy's first purchases, stood ready. He is okay, Rosa announced as paramedics arrived. The customer squeezed her hand. Thank you, dear. This place has changed. Employees used to look miserable. Now you all seem alive. As evening approached, the cinema's transformation crystallized in one beautiful moment. Sarah stood at her old concession stand, training a nervous new hire, a single mother who had been fired from another chain for missing work when her child was sick. Do not worry about your daughter, Sarah assured her. We have emergency childcare assistance. If she is sick, you stay home. Full pay. That is the Reeves Cinema way now. The woman's eyes filled with tears. I have never had a job that treated me like a human being. You do now, Sarah said firmly. We'll take care of each other here? Keanu entered for his monthly visit, carrying his mop bucket, wearing his faded blue jeans, black shirt, worn brown leather jacket, long dark hair past his shoulders, disheveled. 3-day stubble. Employees waved, some calling out, Hey, Mike. He had earned something more valuable than their fear or respect, their trust. Sarah, he said, approaching her station. How is the shoulder? Perfect. She demonstrated full range of motion. Doctor says it is actually stronger than before. Like the whole cinema? She paused. Thank you for seeing us. Thank you for showing me. Keanu hefted his mop. Now I heard the projection booth needs attention. As he walked away, Sarah called out. Hey Mike, you missed a spot last time. Jimmy has been complaining. Keanu laughed. A real laugh, not the polished celebrity version. He was learning that sometimes the best leadership meant knowing when to follow. Robert's dream lived again. Not in corporate policies, but in these moments. Workers joking with their owner, knowing tomorrow would be better than today. Building something together. The schedule board that once symbolized oppression now displayed something revolutionary. Hope. Every name represented a person valued. Every shift a fair exchange of labor for dignity. Reeves' cinema had become what it always claimed to be. A place where every story matters, including the stories of the people who make the magic happen. 1 year later, the story continues. The same fluorescent light flickers above concession stand 3. Keanu chose not to fix it. A reminder of where the journey began. But everything else has transformed. Sarah Mitchell, now Regional Director of Employee Safety, walks the floor with a tablet, conducting her morning inspection. Her shoulder moves freely, strongly. She pauses at a display showing the cinema's metrics. 520, 3 days without lost time injury. Below it, employee photos form a mosaic spelling out, POPO FIREST. The parking lot fills with workers arriving for morning shift, in reliable cars. Wearing pressed uniforms they are proud to display. No one rushes. They know their schedules, trust their hours, believe in their workplace. Inside, Keanu Reeves mops the entrance as he does every quarter during his cinema visits. But now, employees stop to chat, offering coffee, sharing family photos. He is not Mike the janitor anymore. But he is not quite the distant owner either. He is Keanu, the boss who listened, Mr. Reeves. A young usher approaches. My daughter drew this for you. A crayon picture. Stick figures holding hands in front of a Reeves cinema, labeled, The Place That Saved My Mommy. The numbers tell only part of the story. Reeves' cinema revenue doubled after the initial chaos. Customers, it turns out, prefer entertainment where employees smile genuinely. 35 cinemas became 47, each with elected employee councils, each a beacon of ethical business. Derek Walsh serves 9 years in federal prison. Nathan Hartley got 14. Their conviction exposed a network of entertainment industry exploitation affecting millions of workers nationwide. Congress passed the Entertainment Workers Protection Act, mandating employee representation on safety committees. They called it Sarah's Law, but the real victory lies in the small moments. Jimmy Rodriguez, silver-haired and dignified, mentors a new generation of leaders risen from usher ranks. Rosa's son, inspired by his mother's transformation, studies labor law at Stanford. Tommy graduates with honors, returns as an assistant manager who remembers what hunger feels like. Sarah addresses a conference of entertainment industry executives, her words carrying weight earned through pain. Every workplace has someone suffering in silence. Every leader has a choice: exploit that suffering or heal it. The math is simple. Treat workers as expenses, and they will cost you everything. Treat them as humans, and they will build your empire. Keanu stands in Robert Chen's original theater, now a training center for ethical management. His mentor's photo hangs on the wall next to pictures of Sarah, Jimmy, Rosa, and dozens of others who saved Reeves' cinema by forcing it to save them. Keanu speaks directly to an audience of young entrepreneurs. No celebrity polish, just truth. Every workplace has a mic. Someone who sees everything, knows what is broken, stays silent from fear or futility. And every workplace has leaders who could listen but choose not to. The distance between those 2 points is where injustice lies. He holds up his phone, showing an app. We created the Reeves Workers Voice Platform. Anonymous, encrypted, direct to ownership. But you do not need an app. You need courage. He pauses. If you are a worker, document everything. If you are a leader, go undercover in your own company. Work a real shift. Listen to real stories. Feel real pain. Sarah joins him on stage. And if you are a customer, shop where workers thrive. Ask employees if they are treated fairly. Your dollars are votes for the world you want to see. The final moment. Reeves Cinema's original schedule board. Once covered in desperate corrections, now displaying something simple: fair schedules, fair wages, fair treatment, every day, because some things should stay broken, as monuments to what we have fixed. And some revolutions begin with a janitor's mop, an owner's conscience, and the radical idea that workers are people. Your workplace is next. The only question is, will you be the one who speaks up or the one who finally listens? Thank you for following this story! Let us know in the comments below. If this story has moved you and you would like to stand with us in bringing more voices of truth and hope to light, please consider supporting our work. Even the smallest gift helps us continue creating and sharing these powerful stories. You can find the donate link in the description. And of course, do not forget to subscribe so you will not miss the next chapter we are preparing for you.